Thank you very much, ma'am, for gracing us with your presence right here in Business Insight.
Oh my God! Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome.
See, when you say boss, you make me, you make
She
my heart
is-
skip a bit.
She is what she is.
And you're not
It's
used to
not your
such
fault. It is not your fault. Now, getting right into it, we'll start off talking about the KRA fraud. Bring us up to speed, and what are your sentiments on it?
Well, one of the biggest stories that are making headlines this week, considering this is just Tuesday, we see that KRA gave their report just yesterday about just how they've been doing the revenues that have been gathering for the last financial year 2017-2018.
Yeah.
And we see an increase in their collection. We saw a boost to 117 billion,
17 and 12 billion.
and 12 billion shillings, and that's an increase of about 62 billion shillings from their collection. Considering we had an electioneering here, and probably they say this is good for them, though at this time KRA should be at a trillion mark. We shouldn't be talking about billions.
Billions, we should be at a trillion.
Man, there are a lot of businesses here in the country,
and we are paying a lot of taxes. And just to give you the proper figures on what Amunga has just said is the overall revenue for the past for the first half financial year 2017-2018 grew by 62.5 billion to 712.2 billion from 649.7 billion recorded in the previous year, which is 2016-2017. While exchequer revenue grew more strongly by 10% to reach 664.77 billion, up from 604.27 billion for the year 2016-2017.
Exactly. That's basically the summary. And now KRA is just trying to just tighten the knots to make sure now going forward they make much more money. Though, just like I said, they should be hitting a trillion mark by now. Yeah.
But we will give them a benefit of the doubt due to the electioneering year and the fact that we suffered a drought the year before that. All right.
A prolonged one.
A very prolonged one.
And also consider the iTax. The iTax services has really boosted the revenue collection. Now people are more keen on filing their taxes and all the fines that are attached to it. So everyone is really keen on filing their taxes.
Which also lessens corruption, if you ask me.
True.
All right. Now, away from KRA, we have... according to Citon earlier on, maybe last week, according to Citon Investments, the nation's GDP in 2018 depends on agriculture, tourism, and agriculture, tourism, infrastructure, and real estate. And on the other hand, research also shows that private sector will remain low, especially due to the capping of interest rates from the banks.
Oh yeah, sure. That's a report that was from Citon, the investments, which is basically that's the real situation on the ground, because the capping of the interest rates actually closed out a lot of people, because if you have a bad credit record, then you cannot get credit as easy as it was before. So now, and then banks are also very keen and very, they're holding back their loans. They just don't give to anyone because of the new regulations. So now, if I was to get a loan to invest into a business or a real estate, then it becomes they're more tough on me or any other client, because now you can't just be given as easy loans as it was before. And looking at those three aspects, the agriculture, the infrastructure, actually those are the ones that hold the backbone of an economy.
And tourism,
so
yes.
agriculture fails, then you're all,
there's something amiss,
And we see also infrastructure is very key. We see SGR is here. People are using SGR to and from Mombasa. So then you can travel to Mombasa, do your business, come back. So then it even isn't, the doing business, the environment of doing business makes it much easier for anyone, any investor, any businessman to travel, here and there to, carry out their stuff.
Their stuff, of course. And before now we get to the nitty-gritties of tomorrow is Valentine's Day, guys. And I'm sure everybody who's in the flower sector dealing with flowers as a business, you are set to make money. But before we get into flowers and the fact that tomorrow is Valentine's Day and how business is going to be running tomorrow, flowers and chocolates, In case you're wondering, I like flowers and chocolates. Anyway, OLX Amunga is shut down. They're shutting down in Kenya and Nigeria.
Oh yeah, we see, they made that announcement that they're closing down their office in Nairobi and Nigeria, probably because I am yet to find out really what happened, because at the moment we see most Kenyans are embracing online market.
Yeah.
You see Jumia is doing pretty well according to what we see, their records and all stuff. Probably they are planning just didn't go well with what they were projecting, but then it should be the other way around, because guys are right now, everyone is on, not everyone as such, but most people are now embracing online market. Yeah, maybe they found a better market elsewhere
than Nairobi. All right. Wonderful. That's something that we'll delve into later on. Now, the amount of flowers that are going to be sold tomorrow, I must say.
That's true. On Valentine's Day, that's when the flower sector benefits the most, apparently, in Kenya, because we don't have the culture of giving flowers. And we see most Kenyan flowers.
That's so bad.
Why smiling?
Because you've made fun of all men in Kenya. I would take an offense,
Not as much as, you know, in Europe. Flowers, I don't know, it's almost like oxygen. Flowers are given left, right, and center all the time.
Actually,
but
they import
Africa,
flowers from Kenya to go and give out as much as they weren't in their country.
Yeah.
So.
But the culture in Africa is that we don't use flowers as much. We wait for Valentine's Day, and that's when we give flowers, and then that's when now the flower sector benefits the most. And now we see that last year the flower sector made about 70 billion shillings on just Valentine's Day from selling the flowers.
70 what?
both local, 70 billion shillings.
70 billion.
Both in Kenya and in Europe, because flowers are Kenyan flowers are most sold in Europe, and the mode of payment is euros. So now the Flower Council expects that this year as well, the flower sector will make much more money, not just because the Europeans will be buying more flowers, because also we see the rate of the euro has actually gone up, risen from 110 to 123. So now, because of that, they expect that the flower sector will be making much more money, because now they'll be selling more flowers to Europe, considering the fact that the euro has actually strengthened from 110 to 123 as per now, as we talk now.
All right.
So, yeah, aside from the flower that he will buy for you to make that difference.
He better buy that flower. He better. Anyway, now, Amunga and I had a very serious argument in this next topic that I'm going to mention, and I said there's no way we are going to talk about this during Business Insight, but she came, what she said to me made sense, and ladies and gentlemen, there are fake condoms going around.
Sadly, yeah.
Which is affecting other people's businesses.
That's true,
Yes.
considering the fact that this is a commodity that Kenyans, or rather people, had actually embraced a lot, because for curbing a lot of diseases, and also you're told if you can't abstain, use condoms. And so now to see the fake condoms in the market, that's a really big thing, because now you wonder, how did this get into the market? Where is the Kenya Revenue, where is the Kenya Bureau of
Statistics?
No, the KEBS.
KEBS.
The Kenya Standard, okay.
Yes, the KEBS. Don't worry about that. Where are
Yes,
they
because
to-
there's a mark to every product that is supposed to be sold in Kenya. There's that red sticker. If Kenyans don't know, there's a red sticker to every product that is supposed to be sold in Kenya, either exported or made in Kenya. There's that special mark. So then, before this product gets into the country, then there are procedures. So then, what happened at what point? Someone has to answer this question.
And then Amunga, aside from it being very bad for business, yeah, because I'm assuming the human being somewhere who's running a business and sell fake condoms can be sued and can even go to jail. But also, this is bad for biologically bad. It's a hazard. Health hazard.
That makes people might have even to fear buying the correct ones, you know, the legal ones, because now you don't know which is which. So we need to have this thing really cleared out, and Kenyans need to know that for every product that you buy, just like I said, there's a special sticker from KEBS that you have to, helps you to verify that this is a standardized product that I can buy. There's even a code that you can, you know, confirm to it. Yeah, it's really dangerous.
But all right, I'm trying to think of you trying to look for the code on the before. Anyway, now tobacco farmers in Kuria West sub-counties protested against Mastermind Tobacco Company for not paying arrears since 2014, and to add insult to injury is the fact that this company goes overboard and even starts importing tobacco. I mean, you have this group of farmers that you've not paid. You're not paying them. You're not giving them a promise that you're actually going to pay them. And it's been since 2014. We're in 2018. And then you go even you go to the point of getting tobacco from another country. You're importing tobacco.
That's really sad. And this is an issue that the Ministry of Labour has to look into very seriously, because we have investors. We've had such complaints even in the tea sector. We've had complaints in the flower sector. Investors come in and they don't follow the code of conduct into considering the issues on employment, how to pay wages and all to that. So you see that farmers sell their products to these investors, and then they're kind of shortchanged. So these are issues that the Ministry of Labour has to look into very seriously, and also the Union of Workers. We've seen KOTU being very loud on some of these issues, and Nina, I had a tour in some of the areas where tobacco is grown. The kind of work that is involved in growing tobacco is not easy. For those farmers just to get, you know, like a bundle of tobacco leaves, it's not an easy job. But then what do they harvest from that? Very little money. So we see that, I mean, I need to get back as much money on the much input I put into my farm, in whatever I'm growing, be it maize, be it sugarcane, be it whatever. At least I need to get back as much.
You need to see your fruits.
It's really a lot of work involved in that. Yeah.
I mean, it's only fair that you do. Okay, that's a story that will definitely be following up
We'll
on.
Be following up on that.
And we'll be bringing our viewers up to speed. Now, yesterday, Najib Balala, he was launching, there's a forum he was launching, and it came in with the tourism report.
Yeah, he was unveiling the master plan for the tourism sector. And one of the major things that came up was that he wants the tourism sector to be put among the big four, you know, the president's big four issues.
Considering so it is an economy driver.
True that.
Yeah,
tourism,
it is an economy driver.
Tourism in Kenya can do pretty well, as in 100 times much better than now if it could maybe be invested into much more. So Balala wants it, so he wants it to be slotted into the big four so that we can have the big five, which is, it's a great idea, and hopefully that will be considered. But then the master plan that he had, he says that he wants to increase the number of tourists coming into Kenya from foreign countries to about 4 million probably per year. And then also boost the domestic tourism, because we see that Kenyans, although lately the domestic tourism is being, it's really trying. You know, tomorrow you'll go to Malindi, the other day you'll go to whatever place. You don't have to like fly out to be a tourist. You can tour just
keep
within.
It local.
Yeah, so that's the master plan, and he's really aggressive. He's really optimistic about that.
Is it credible?
And we've seen, oh yeah, it's achievable. It's pretty much achievable, because we've seen the tourism growing year by year. I mean, each financial year, each year, it keeps growing up, even despite the fact that it could be a little margin, but we've seen it grow over and over. So it's achievable. And
also, to add on to that, I think it's pretty impressive how we are still on the right track when it comes to tourism, even after all that we have gone through. We can compare ourselves to, was it 2013 when we had the Westgate attack?
Oh yeah.
2013, 2014, even after elections. Yeah. But right here in 2017, regardless, the extremely extended electioneering period, tourism,
the sector it has been really resilient despite all that. Yeah,
I expected was, and the international, the West have so much faith in us.
Oh yeah, we saw even during that time
they have so much
were
faith
still
in
coming
us.
in. We saw the cruise ship, we saw all that. So it means it's optimistic for Kenya.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, We're done. Thank you for coming to check up on me. It was lovely having you in this
So
set.
are we allowed to wish Happy Valentine's?
Happy Valentine's Day. If you're responsible
Happy
for Amunga,
Valentine's.
please do deliver those flowers. And her younger one over here likes chocolate as well. Keep them white. Thank you very much.
He watched. He watched. Trust me.
Okay. Have a lovely afternoon, guys. I'll be seeing you later on at 9 p.m. for our primetime news. That was it for Business Inside this afternoon. My name is Nina Shaban, and my boss is called Victoria Amunga.